I'm standing on the roof of Aqualand overlooking our incredible 750,000 gallon Aquascape ecosystem pond. Let me show you why this pond is special. So adjacent to me is our amazing 750,000 gallon flagship pond here at our headquarters, Aqualand, located in St. Charles, Illinois, the water garden capital of the world. And what I want to do today is I want to take you on a journey with me. I want to go back, and I mean way back when I was actually young. I'm going back to 2008 when we actually built this pond. It is currently 2025. This has changed dramatically over those years. Our amazing green roof continues to get better over time, and actually this section, maybe not so much because we're doing some work on it, always trying to reinvent everything, but the trees have grown in. We've added spheres, we've added multiple waterfalls in addition to this amazing pond, and it has changed and it has modified itself over time because that's how recreational ponds work. They continue to evolve like any well-designed garden. Let's go take a walk so you could follow me along on this journey, and I want to show you step by step how we pulled this project off. Hey, Ed Ballou here, May 1st, 2008, and we're days away from breaking ground on the most extreme pond build in Aquascape history. Before me sits our site. This is what we're going to transform over the next couple of months into the most amazing pond you've ever seen right before your very eyes. Over on the north end, we're going to have a series of large waterfalls cascading down over 50,000 pound boulders. Down at the southern end, the water is going to disappear down into a large basin that's housing all of our pumps. Why don't we head down that way and we can talk about it a little bit further. Here we are right at the midway point of our water feature. Located right in this center section is a beautiful peninsula that's going to extend its way out into the water. It's going to have a series of small seating areas located on it, and we'll have a series of stepping stones going across from the peninsula over to the office space. Down in the far background is where our pumps are going to be located, and then what we have on this western edge right up against the glass, we're going to have the water coming right up against the foundation where people can actually stand inside the office and look at all the fish and the aquatic plants as they move around right in front of them. Why don't we head down that way for a closer look. Here we are on the southern shore of our water feature. Going towards the north, we have several hundred feet of open land which will be transformed into this beautiful watery oasis. I'm actually standing right on top of a patio which will become a beautiful viewing area where you could sit and you could have a great view of the water feature before your eyes. Up against the building, over on that western edge, we're going to have a series of large plantings that will help transition between the glass and steel and the rest of the landscape. Located directly to my left is where our pump housing is going to be located. We're going to hold over 30,000 gallons of water and several large pumps creating over 200,000 gallons of water per hour. Let's head over there and take a look at that. Here I am standing right in the middle of the final waterfall of our water feature. The water level of the pond is actually 5 feet above where I'm currently standing. We're going to have two large waterfalls falling in upon themselves. The reason behind that is simple. We want people as they're entering and exiting the building to have the beautiful view of those waterfalls. Splitting that fall is going to be a large sandstone boulder that we hand-picked down in Missouri. Down below this entire area is going to be our large cistern holding over 30,000 gallons of water and a series of large pumps that's going to push all of that water to the north to our wetland filters and large waterfalls. Directly behind me, we have our large waterfalls. That's going to change dramatically from what you currently see. We're going to bring in over 12 feet of soil and boulders up to 50,000 pounds. Behind that waterfall is going to be a grotto area. You'll actually be able to walk behind the waterfall, sit down, and view the waterfall from behind it. Hey, Ed Ballou here, bringing you yet another project showcase, and today we are at none other than Aqualand. This is our signature water feature right here at our headquarters in St. Charles, Illinois. Right behind me stands our signature water feature, stretches over 300 feet from the south to the north and 100 feet wide. This project has been in the ground now for 5 years. It was a massive undertaking between Aquascape and utilizing our certified Aquascape contractor program. We brought in the best of the best. We had over 250 contractors here. We did a lot of the prep work before everybody got here, and then we all basically came together and we made this thing happen inside of a week. This pond has over 750,000 gallons of water, 1,000 tons of stone, and we're moving over 100,000 gallons of water per hour for the filtration system and the main waterfall. Here I am standing down by our main waterfall. This is what we call our negative edge basin. All of this water is sitting on top of a 30,000 gallon reservoir. So we have over 1,000 aqua blocks down underground storing all of that water. We have multiple pumps that are feeding the system through 12-inch piping. That water starts in our pump vault and it goes all the way up to our main waterfall, and it splits off through our network of underwater jets and feeding our wetland filter system. This is one of 2 wetland filters. This filter stretches 50 feet long and it's 12 feet wide. It's the main filtration for the entire pond, and this is what's giving us the desired water quality. When this thing is up and running, it looks spectacular, and it's meant to look like a wet edge or a marshy type area. It's loaded with all types of aquatic wildlife. What I love about this particular pond is the interaction between the water and the rest of the building. The main part of this pond that stretches right through the middle is 11 feet deep. Down at the bottom of that deep area is a 20-foot long underwater cave. You could actually dive down and swim through that cave, and it's also perfect for those fish to get away from any potential predators. We're standing on top of this massive berm that was created for our main waterfall. We had to bring in over 500 yards of soil to build up this entire structure. We have over 300 tons of weathered limestone outcropping on the outside edge to hold everything in place, and this is where our waterfall starts. We have our 12-inch line coming in this back part of the stream. The water comes blasting down and it splits into 2 main waterfalls. The water flows this way over this main 10-foot cascade, and then it cascades down over a series of boulders down at the other end. This is one of my favorite views of this entire pond. This is unbelievable. Unfortunately, most people don't even come up here to take a look at it. But from here you can see that 300-foot expanse of water, everything interacting between the building and the landscape. All of that stuff is just seamless. My second favorite viewing area is from Ed's Beer Garden. That's that terrace up above. Most people don't have that vantage point of looking at their pond, but to me it makes all the difference in the world. From that area you could look down, you could see this beautiful landscape as a backdrop, and then you have that pristine water down below. Just creates a breathtaking view. So I want to take a step back even further. I want to talk to you about the design philosophy behind this amazing water feature. So back when we were in the kind of brainstorming processes, what I kind of came up with was coming up with the idea to mimic an Illinois watershed. You know, I'm a biomimicry guy. I love modeling after nature. Illinois is very, very unique. The northwest corner, we have what's called the driftless area. That area was not touched by glaciers. So that section of our state is actually kind of rocky and craggy, and there's ravines and there's waterfalls and there's exposed limestone cliffs. That's because the glaciers didn't crush them all up. So that stuff is existing. So I wanted the northern part of our property to mimic that. I wanted to have large limestone cliffs and bluffs actually hidden with a secret grotto underneath the waterfall, because that's actually what you would find in that area. It's riddled because of the karst geology. It's riddled with caves and sinkholes and things like that. So I love mimicking that stuff. Then as water flows further and further south throughout our amazing state, it opens up into the wide open areas, the flat plains, the central section, wide open bodies of water. And then as it continues going further south, it becomes very marshy. There's actually sloughs and swamps, and it's actually loaded up with bald cypress trees, and that's exactly what we did here. We brought in bald cypress trees, we brought in logs and stumps, and we loaded that far southern section of this amazing pond with water lilies, because the area in southern Illinois is that marshy swamp area. It's loaded, it has all types of biodiversity, and I wanted to kind of showcase that in a condensed area, and I think we pulled it off. Let's go continue taking a walk so we can see exactly some of these unique attributes of this project. It's actually hard for me to visualize what this actual spot looked like back in 2008. That is almost a lifetime ago. There are so many things that have actually happened, and one of my favorites is right behind me over here. The stacked slate spheres, and not just any stacked slate sphere, these are gargantuan. And that's because this pond is gargantuan. 750,000 gallons of water. We need everything to be oversized in order for it to look right. We worked with Thomas Holt of Holt's Nurseries coming out of southern Florida. He brought up some amazing tropical water lilies because of the massive lily pads and the just giant flowers. These things look unbelievable, especially when they're taken care of and fertilized properly. So this has completely transformed. It has become that lush garden that I always envisioned it as. So it's almost like a little bit of our own version of Monet's garden, which I absolutely love from a landscape design perspective. I am standing at the base of the wetland. This is where the wetland system enters our amazing aquascape ecosystem pond. Wetlands are critical because it's the heart of the system. It's going to detoxify the water. And what we did this past year was we ripped out all of the original vegetation. We came in with some new stuff, not just new. Working with Holt's Nurseries, he came in with a beautiful mixture of different types of tropical vegetation.
This one here is Insecta Morelia. It's a great big ornamental banana. They grow them in Longwood Gardens. They get beautiful, 10, 12 feet long. This is Colocasia Black Magic. That's teacup.
Is this Sparrow's mask?
No, that's YTT.
YTT.
We have all of this amazing vegetation, which as it grows, sends its roots deep down into the system. These plants grow very, very quickly, which is very important when we're talking about detoxifying the water from all the fish waste generated by all of those koi. So looking back at some of that historical footage of this waterfall construction, I noticed that I said 100,000 gallons of water per hour of flow for this entire ecosystem pond. We blew that out of the water. That was many, many years ago. We're waterfall guys. We love having those dramatic waterfalls, so we wanted to increase the flow. We came in with a series of large Surumi submersible pumps. We're now pushing over 160,000 gallons of water every hour of flow rate between our wetlands and our main waterfalls. This has completely transformed the sound, gives us that visibility we're looking for, because we have to make sure that that waterfall is visible all the way from the retail store, which is 300 feet away. So we need that whitewater action. The other thing that it did, it gave more water cascading over that 10-foot fall that actually drops down over the opening to that amazing grotto. So by increasing that flow rate, it has changed it, but that's the beauty of any type of waterfall construction. We want to play around with the different sights and sounds to dial it in. The beautiful thing that we did way back when, and I'm actually surprised we did it, we oversized the piping system. I always recommend coming in with oversized pipe or do a redundant piping system so you have capacity to increase the water flow if you see fit. So the massive mound of soil that we brought in to bury the concrete structure, which creates that amazing little hidden secret grotto, has really transformed. All the vegetation, all the little plants that have been tucked in, all the little crevices, the low-growth sumac, the cotoneasters, the amazing trees, the white pines, all of those things have just exploded in growth, which really sells this feature. As a designer, I'm not a fan of when we build up these large mounds of soil with these little sparse trees. It still looks fake. We need that heavy vegetation so you don't see anything on the other side. That's when everything really starts to kind of evolve itself. So you have to be thinking not just a year ahead, but you have to be thinking 10 years in the future when you're coming up with your plant designs. So one design element that we wanted to add back in 2008, but we didn't have the time and or the resources to pull it off, is this. This is adjacent to that massive earthen berm that we created. It was meant to look like a ravine. Instead of just being a berm on one side, we wanted our main entry to carve its way through this little canyon type of a feel. We finally did it last year during our Pondemonum event. We created this long meandering system of just trickling waterfalls and cascades that look like they're seeping out of the side of a hillside. Back in 2008, when we built this incredible pond and this little secret grotto, this mammoth boulder, which is still huge, 47,000 pounds, this held the record for my entire career. I started back in 1993 with Aquascape. This was installed in 2008, the largest boulder. Then I crushed that record. Not only did I go bigger than this, not one time, not two times, but 3 times larger. Over 200,000 pounds we've set boulders on the amazing project in Southern Africa. I still love this, the beautiful textures. Hand-picking these rocks out in Missouri, each and every one of these character boulders was absolutely a blessing, and it just continued to build my appreciation and love for working with nature and working with incredible stone like this to create art the world has never seen before. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Amazing Africa project, check the links in the description to follow along the amazing process. This is what a recreational pond is all about. It's about immersing yourself in an aquatic lifestyle. Having fish, having the aquatic plants, all these different things really come together when you're living on a lake. I have some amazing memories here. Actually, one of them right in this very spot that I cannot forget is a Guinness Book of World Records. Yes, this specific pond has been in the Guinness Book of World Records, not for the most extreme pond, actually something a little bit more unique. The pond guy actually set the world record for the underwater bench press right there. Bench pressing underwater. Who would have thought? And we had the place to actually do it. Not only that, but we flew out to Japan specifically to hand pick these amazing fish, the jewels of the water garden. Amazing koi from Niigata, Japan. Another fun memory is Woody, our 110-pound, this is a monster, 110-pound alligator snapping turtle swimming around inside this pond. Forrest Galante, who's just an unbelievable guy, conservationist, he's on TV, he's got amazing vlogs, he's on social media, you name it. He actually wanted to swim down and capture Woody and bring him back inside. So these are just a few of the amazing things that have happened right here on our property as we just continue to enjoy the beauty of the aquascape lifestyle.